You deserve to be who you are and to feel comfortable with yourself in any room that you put yourself in any situation that you get yourself in, and around anybody that you still happen to be around.
Oh, I, oh, I. Oh, I, oh, I.
If you don't feel right with the things that you're doing or the people that you're surrounding yourself with, then this could be a sign that you need to actually figure out who you are and start being more true to yourself. When you actually put yourself in the mood of being yourself and you actually are behaving in a way that's true to your own intentions, true to your own personality, then you're going to start attracting people that vibe with you and vibe with your personality, that agree with you, that are just supposed to be in your life. When you put on a front, when you put on a face, when you start behaving like someone that you're not in order to fit in or to please people, then you're going to start feeling really unfulfilled and feeling like you're at places that you don't really belong, or you're always going to feel like you don't really fit in, or you're always going to feel like something's just not right. You deserve a social group that vibes with you. You deserve to be around people where you can actually be yourself. You shouldn't have to hold back, especially if these are your friends or people that you're choosing to be around. There's no reason why you should have to hold back parts of your personality when you get around certain people. As humans, we do have to restrain ourselves from, I guess, like being 100% yourself, maybe when you're at work or at school or something, and that's understandable. You know, we're humans, we have to be able to function in society, so we do have to kind of make ourselves more presentable in a way, but you shouldn't have to always put on a face. I think the issue is a lot of people, they always have on a face. When they're social with anyone, it's kind of like they all put on this like persona, they put on this face, they put on this mask to where they feel like this is the only place that they can operate in and be successful with people. And that's not true. You can be yourself and still have good connections and still foster real relationships. I'll say like this semester in my group projects, I started to kind of like show more of my personality. So like instead of being like really, I guess like black and white, just straight to the book and just like, okay, we gotta get this done, who's doing this, splitting it up. I showed a little bit more of my personality in the group chats, or like when we meet as a group and I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired of this, or like I don't feel like doing this, or like, oh, she's always assigning so much work, you know? And because I was myself in my group projects, I actually started enjoying them. And I see some of my team members as like friends, you know? I don't feel like it's a burden to have to do anything with them because I showed myself, they showed themselves, and we actually vibe together. You know, we actually have a common understanding and a common feel and a common vibe in the class, which is actually like a really good thing. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm normal, which is great. No matter how old you are, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it is so important for you to actually know who you are and to start behaving as yourself.
Right now, today.
I'm gonna give you 3 signs to check if you're being true to yourself. First sign is when you come home and you get away from people, if you start feeling like overwhelmed, like you feel drained. If like after you come home from hanging out with people or doing whatever you do when you're outside of the house, if you feel so like terrible that it almost like paralyzes you, that you're just like oh my gosh, or like you're just like tired or you're just not feeling it, this could be a sign that you're not being true to yourself, because that just shows you that you may have exhausted yourself from putting on a mask in your social settings. Like I said before, it is understandable to put on some type of mask when you're out being social just to function as a human in society, but you shouldn't have to put on a mask so much to the point that you're exhausting all of your energy and keeping up a facade. You deserve to be yourself. You deserve to feel normal. You deserve to feel good about what you're doing and who you're interacting with and the things that you're saying. So there's absolutely no need to carry a mask all day. If you feel like you created a life where you have to carry this mask, then I will say that a huge part of life is growth and rebirth. And if something isn't working with you, if you put yourself in a situation where you're not yourself and it's become very clear to you, it's never too late to change. Like, thank God you woke up today. Thank God you have another day of life. Like, inshallah, you have another day tomorrow. Every day is a new change. It's a new opportunity. Every second is a new opportunity to do better, to change. So take advantage, take advantage. If you have something if you committed yourself to something that's no longer serving you, that you don't like, then literally don't do it. Do something else. Do something that you want to do. It's really that easy. The second way to check if you're being true to yourself is if your intuition is screaming at you that you're not. As a woman, I can feel it in my spirit when I'm doing something that's not true to me, because literally there will be something like in the back of my head telling me like, what are you doing here? What is this? Like literally like, what is this? What are we doing? What is this? And I know you have that voice in you too. You know when you committed yourself to go into a party or something that you really don't want to go to, you know that voice in the back of your head that's saying like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. If you always constantly hear that voice, if you're always constantly putting yourself in situations that you really don't deserve to be in, then like tap in with yourself and believe in yourself and trust your intuition. And the more and more you practice like trusting your intuition and being in tune with yourself, the stronger your intuition will get, and that'll save you from a lot of trouble. Your body is warning you from stuff for a good reason. Put trust in yourself and validate yourself, validate your feelings that you have. If something is feeling off to you, then listen to yourself, because you know best for you. You know what is the best for you. Listen to yourself. If your intuition is telling you like, okay, let's not go to this party today, or okay, like maybe this person isn't my friend, maybe this person isn't who I thought they were, maybe I shouldn't like put myself in this situation, then listen to yourself, because you know best. Okay? And that's literally like God communicating to you. He's literally telling you, unless like you feel like you don't have like unless you're operating from a place of like insecurity or from a place of like trauma, then that's something else. But I'm pretty sure you know your trauma. If you know, getting constant themes of something coming up and it's always like the same type of situation, maybe that's a pattern and maybe that's some trauma that you should heal. But I just mean like on a daily basis, if your intuition is kicking in and it's telling you like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop doing that. Listen to yourself. Listen to your intuition. If something's telling you don't do it, then don't do it. And vice versa. If something is telling you to do it, take this risk, take this leap, take this jump, then do it. Listen to your intuition regardless, because your intuition knows best. You know best for yourself. No one can tell you how to live your life. No one can tell you how to be you. There is no one that has ever been like you. There is no one that will ever be like you. So listen to yourself, because you know best for yourself. And the third way you can know if you're not being true to yourself is if you have many faces. What I mean by this is like, basically, you have one friend group and you have a certain persona in that friend group. You have another friend group and you have a completely different persona in this friend group. And you have a third friend group and you're like a complete new person in that friend group. If you're breaking up your personality and only showing those parts of your personality with certain people, that can be a sign that you're not really being like yourself or being true to yourself. And like I mentioned, it does make sense to kind of like have a mask when it comes to certain social situations. But if you see yourself like literally having to turn on a switch when you're hanging out with certain people, or turn off a switch when you're hanging out with certain people, that can be kind of like a red flag for you. That can kind of tell you like, maybe I'm not being real with myself. Maybe I'm putting on a face to be with these people. And then you should evaluate what face you have to put on people. If you're in a certain group and you notice that your energy changes, that should tell you a lot about if you should be there or not. If you're around people that are bringing out the worst in you, then obviously like stop. Like just don't be around them. Like actually, it's totally okay to spend time with yourself. And I will say that I spend like a fair amount of time alone, and because I spend time alone, I know exactly what I want. I know what I do want to tolerate. I know what I don't want to tolerate. And I kind of like built this idea in my head about who I want to be and like what I want for myself. But if I would always like be around people, share my thoughts, share like my dreams, my aspirations, then it's like I'm opening them up to influence my own decision. You really need to spend time with yourself and time alone to actually know what you want. Because if you don't, then you're just going to be so influenced by people around you, especially with social media today. Like it's so easy to be influenced by what everyone is saying. Everyone is saying like what they want. It's so easy to think like you want that for yourself. But until you sit with yourself, live life for yourself, experience stuff for yourself, then how are you actually going to know what you want yourself? You're not. If you're always with people, then you're going to want what those people around you want. And it's so important to really spend time like figuring out who you are and what you want out of life, because this is your life. I mean, we all hear the stories about people who have lived for others, who have lived for their parents, who have lived for their spouse. It's a very unfulfilling life. You want to live for yourself because God has blessed you with this life, with your body, with what you have. You want to live for yourself. Live for yourself. Don't live for other people. You deserve the life that you want to live. You deserve to be yourself and to feel comfortable in any room that you step in. So, like, do it. let go of the stuff that isn't serving you. It's totally fine. It's up to you. It's your life. God will bless you with people, things, and situations that will make you the happiest, that will make you the most fulfilled. Just follow through. Follow through. Listen to your intuition. Listen to what God is telling you. Listen to what you're supposed to do. And it's going to be all good. But thanks so much for watching.